Okay, well, welcome everyone as we learn the Mishna Yomis for this Motzei Shabbos Emor, as we are sponsored by the Fisher family, Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi Shalom ben Avram Alevi, Pel Bas Ruvain. We're also sponsored by Nishmas David ben Chaim, the Fush Shalem for the Yomis ben Chayesar, Yaakov ben Bas Yaleah, for the Schus of Avram ben Yom Benish ben Malk Yehudis. We're sponsored by Yoel Klugman and family for their Parnas Gzut and Nachas. We learn the Fush Shalema for Mishna ben Esther Fradel, for Avigdor Aryeh ben Rivka, for Hinda Bas Chayesara, for Chana Bas Shashabina, Chayesara Bas Shashabina, we learn the Fush Shalema for Yitzchak ben Sion ben Dusha and Shimon ben Sarah Miriam, Meir ben Chayesara. They should have a Fush Shalema b'seik Sharchei Yisrael. So Mishna Ches tells us Yehuda ben Tabai v'Shimon ben Shetach kiblu mehem. Yehuda ben Tabai and Shimon ben Shetach got the tradition from Yeshua ben Prachya and Nitei Arabeli, and it's noteworthy that the Messiah remained intact even through the terrible, terrible time of the monstrous Yanai, who murdered many, many, many of the Chachamim. Shimon ben Shetach, who was his brother-in-law, was able to survive, and they accepted it from their predecessors. Yehuda ben Taba Yomer, al tas atzmecha k'orchei hadayanim. When you give advice to a litigant, you should be careful not to be like a conniving advisor. In other words, if let's say you say, I know this person is right, I'm telling him though how to present his case. You should withhold certain information. You shouldn't say everything. It's going to go against you. You're not allowed to do that. You have to present the case as it is. And nobody should advise a person because he's an expert and he knows what works in court and what doesn't. He shouldn't tell a person, don't say this and try to imply that. You're not allowed to do that. That's corrupting the din. We tell the judges, when the litigants are before you, even if one is a big Talmid Chacham, a Magid Shir, a member of Kailel, both of them have to be equally suspect before you on the merits of the case. They should all be potentially possible to be wicked. You can't say, well, this person couldn't do such a thing. That is not allowed in a Jewish courtroom. When they, however, leave the courtroom, even if you found one of them guilty, even if you found one of them, he has to he has to compensate the other litigant. He should be in your eyes like one who is meritorious. When they accept the psak of the court, instead of thinking, oh, that person was a cheat and a liar, you should give him the benefit of the doubt that he made a mistake. If he accepts the din, you shouldn't look at one as if he is a wicked person. The key over here is the words kishekiblu alein asadin. It's very paramount that when Jews go to a bezdin, they accept the din. When things don't go your way, you always want to go to another court and to another court. That's not how it works. You went to 3 dayanim that have a cheskes kashrus. If it doesn't go your way, you accept the judgment of the court. If you know yourself that you're honest, and you know that you were bamboozled, and therefore you in your mind it leaves a question, so is this a righteous court? You have to know that sometimes, as the Zohar says, Eila mishpatim asher tasim lefneim, and the Zohar says, Zuhi soida de gilgula. This is the secret of reincarnation. Sometimes that there come out a judgment in a Erlich court against you, even when you're right, because it's orchestrated that way because you owe this person money in a different Gilgal. Shim ben Shetach Omer, having mar belakar es ha'edim, you should increase your interrogation of the witnesses, especially if in your gut you feel that something doesn't feel right. So we tell the judge then keep on asking the witnesses questions to make sure that there isn't a miscarriage of judgment. This is the meaning of a dayan that's done din emes lamitai. Now what's the double lashon? Din emes lamitai. Because we have to know that a judge could say, look, I got testimony, I'm following the Torah, al pi shnayim edim yakum davar. But that would be a din emes. But the judge has to feel it's the truth. And if it's not, he should continue to interrogate the witnesses. And Shimon ben Shetach, with great experience, recommends, when you ask questions, make sure they're not leading questions. Shema mitoicham yilmedu l'shaker, lest the witnesses learn from here to lie. When they hear what you want to hear, they might learn to lie. So be careful not to ask leading questions. Rabbi Wein makes an application from this Mishna, which is a very important lesson for parenting. And Rabbi Wein says that be very careful with your words with your children, because if you're very rigid and you threaten them with serious punishment, then you should know that you're just asking for them to lie. So therefore, have a zar b'dvarecha, be careful with your words, shema b'toicham yilmedu l'shaker, lest from your words you will be teaching your children to lie. It's not worth it for them to tell the truth. They can't be open. The consequences are too severe. So then you're not going to have honest, open dialogue with your children. We want to thank you very much for joining us. Again, remember that as we head to the Parsha this week, we do not have a sponsor yet for the main Chumash share. 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. Thank you for joining us for this wonderful Motzei Shabbos of learning, and have a wonderful evening.